Hi guys, welcome to my channel Vinyl Beauty, or welcome back. I'm Debbie if you don't know me. Today's video is going to be a get ready with me. Not done one for a while, really want to just sit down and have a chat with you guys because I've had my channel now for 3 years. Can you guys believe it? Some of you have been here from the very beginning and oh, it's just flown, honestly. And so I just had a few thoughts about that I wanted to share with you. Just really wanted to just sit down and do my makeup and just hang out with you guys. So it's not going to be about the makeup specifically. I'm going to be using some older things, some favourites in my collection, a few newer things as well, but nothing brand new or anything like that. So it's more so, as I say, just to sit down and do some makeup together. So if you want to hang out with me for the next probably 3/4 an hour or so while we do a full face of makeup, then please keep on watching. Okay guys, completely barefaced today. Hate coming on camera with a bare face, but I wanted to do a full face get ready with me to give me a bit of time to have a chat with you guys, because I've got a few things on my mind I just thought I wanted to talk to you about, as I say. So we're going to go with my usual foundation. Look at this. I never pan anything. There's like just a bare dregs left of this foundation. This is great. This is a number 7 Beautifully Matte Light foundation. My shade's Calico, in case you were wondering. I'm going to have to buy a new one because I reckon this is going to be the last time I'll be able to use it. But it has lasted a year and I use it pretty much every time I do my makeup. So it just shows how long a foundation will last. Not that I do my makeup every day, of course, but... So yeah, so I've had my channel for 3 years now. And so it's always nice to reflect back on sort of the journey and what I've learned and whatever. But really I was inspired to kind of talk about what it's like to be on YouTube and, yeah, as I say, my experience over the last 3 years from watching a video that I've recently seen from Karen Harris, and her video was 5 reasons you don't want to start a YouTube channel or a beauty channel in 2022. And I had to agree with quite a few of the things that she said. I don't think it applies just to this year, it applies in general really. So we're going to talk about some of the things that, yeah, are on my mind about that. But generally it's been a really positive experience for me doing YouTube, and I'm glad that I did it. But it's not been the experience I perhaps thought I was going to have when I started. So you guys, a lot of you have been here from the beginning, you know a lot of my story, but I started watching YouTube as a viewer around about 6 years ago. And just by accident really, I was just searching for some reviews on makeup brushes because I wanted to get a little bit more into makeup and getting a bit better at it, and fell down the YouTube rabbit hole because YouTube's good at recommending more channels. And so I got pretty much addicted at that time to watching everything and anything. And I used to watch a lot of the bigger channels then because that's what was being recommended to me, and I didn't really know about the small YouTuber community at all, and never thought it was something that I would be able to do. But I started a Instagram page quite nervously at the beginning because at the time I was 50, but I had a bit of a plan for like my year of being 50. I think this lighting is way too bright. I'm just going to turn it down slightly. That's a bit better, isn't it? I hate my lighting to look too like washed out, so I hope that wasn't too bad for too long. But yeah, so I wasn't too sure whether I even wanted to put my 50-year-old face on Instagram, because I was a bit nervous because everybody that you see on there, you know, they're a lot younger, or things are face tuned or whatever, photoshopped anyway. Nothing's real that you see on anything like Instagram or anywhere really, is it anymore? I had a great experience doing Instagram because I learnt a lot about like how to apply makeup just by like looking at the tutorials I'd seen on YouTube, and then I wanted to kind of practice in my own time and then put the pictures up on Instagram. And it was back in the days, and I don't know if you guys remember Instagram being this way, that you would follow someone, they'd follow you back, you'd get chatting to them, you'd make some really nice friends, you'd support each other. And I mean, I'm not big at all on Instagram. I've got 970 subscribers or followers, whatever you want to call them, on Instagram, and most of those I got in the first year, because these days, like, I'll get somebody follow me and then 5 seem to leave. I don't know what's going on the algorithm there, and it's not a joyful place for me as it used to be. But I used to watch a tutorial, sit there, try and recreate it quite badly, post the picture that I didn't know how to edit on there. But people were so kind and so nice, and yeah, I just met some really nice people through doing it. And then I started watching a few more smaller channels. I don't know quite how I found them, and learning all about indie makeup. And that's really where my passion started to grow, because I'd always been into Urban Decay. That was the brand that excited me, because being in the UK, we didn't have very exciting makeup in our department stores, and I didn't really order makeup online back then. But yeah, so I don't know how I found some of these channels that were covering indie makeup. I think some of the more mainstream channels were doing Kat Von D reviews. I was really into the aesthetic for Kat Von D at the time, and then I found Annette, who later became a friend, but she reviewed the Fetish palette, and that's how I found her. And then obviously that opened the door to lots of other channels that were based around reviewing indie makeup, and that's when my passion for makeup really grew, because indie makeup has been and always will be the best. It's where new trends start, and it's, you know, you don't see that many multi-chromes, for example, in a mainstream brand, or it takes them a lot longer to do that. The colour stories are a lot braver and more out there. So yeah, I started to really enjoy that. I'm just going to get a bronzer. I'm going to use the Fenty one. This one is Shady Beers. I love this one. I've had this years, but it's still pretty good. I feel like doing a bit of bronzer today because it's sunny outside. Who am I? I don't normally like bronzer. Bronzer does look a bit odd on my super pale skin, but this one works okay if I'm light-handed with it. I just wanted to be a little bit glowy today. Yeah, so when I turned 50, so I'd been watching YouTube for a couple of years, I started to think, yeah, maybe I could upload one video as kind of like a challenge to myself. I didn't think I was going to like carry on. I just wanted to, I always set myself little goals in life, and I thought, why not? Why don't I just like do a collection video or something like that? I had no clue how to edit, and that was the one thing that was stopping me. But got talking to Annette about it, and she was like, just go for it, and she encouraged me so much to do it. I'll always be grateful to her for that, because I never would have done it on my own. And she gave me a bit of a shout out on her channel and said I was going to start my channel, and so I decided to do it. And I didn't have anything to edit on. I used to edit on my phone. I filmed on a camera, had a really old laptop. I used to upload the pictures to that and then try and get it back onto my phone to edit it using iMovie on my phone, and the whole process of like doing a video took about 2 days. It was just ridiculous. I can do a whole video like back to back now, including the description box, editing the whole thing in about 4 hours, but back then it took 2 days. So yeah, so that's how my channel started really. And I uploaded a collection video of my Urban Decay palettes, had about 30 of them at the time, and it did really well. And then I was like, well, really well for somebody brand new. I had about 800 views on that. And so I thought, well, why not do a few more collection videos? And so I went through pretty much my whole collection at the time, doing videos based on that. And then I, without telling Annette, did a tutorial video, and when she saw it, she's like, oh wow, you did a tutorial video, well done, you know. And the worst thing, or the hardest thing, is coming on camera as a newbie and just trying to be yourself and to talk and just be natural, because you're just talking to a camera. You don't, you know, see the viewers at all, but it's still quite nerve-wracking thinking that people might see you. I'm using Tinkerbell's Magic Moon Super Shock here, that came from the, let's say, from the Tinkerbell collection, because I want something really glowy and pretty today. I love this. This is beautiful. might not be quite as blushy as I want, so I might top it with something else, but I think I'm going to top it with Sunstone from the Fairy Blush palette. This one, it doesn't look like pigmented on camera, but it is quite pigmented. It's quite nice. It's a summer blush for sure, and we've got, as I say, sunny weather in the UK today. Got to celebrate that, right? It doesn't happen too often at the moment. So I've been reflecting back, as I say, because it's been 3 years since I started my channel, so I've been watching a few of those old videos from my first year. And if you're considering having a channel, go and watch those and just see how, I don't know, I was so wooden, so kind of scared on camera, and yet some of you followed me from then and are still with me. I have no clue why, honestly. I was just so bad. But I've always had a passion for makeup. I think maybe that has shone through on my channel more than anything else, and I think maybe that's why you follow me. And I just try to just be myself. I think I've just been able to come out of my shell a little bit. I'm very shy, actually, so that's always been a struggle for me. Right, for highlight today, I'm going to go with a loose highlight. This one's by Juvia's Place. It's Nubian loose highlighter in Cleo. So I'd got my channel and I started looking at all of the other content that other people were doing, and I think that's probably one of the biggest mistakes I made in my YouTube journey. Wow, this is like insane, isn't it? I need to dampen that down in a minute. I've forgotten quite how bam in your face this highlight is. I never lose highlight for this reason. It's like see it from space, but wow. I love it when old products kind of like, you know, thrill you again. You don't realise like how great they were. So one of the things I did wrong, I think, is looking at other channels and thinking I needed to be like them to be successful, or that I needed to be successful at all, because I think the reason I started my channel initially was to prove that somebody my age could do it, to give myself a challenge to do it, and as I say, with the intention maybe of only uploading a few videos and just being in some way part of the community that I love so much and just sharing my love for makeup. I never intended really for it to be anything more than that, or didn't even think further than that. Like, I think a lot of people start their channels with the thought that they want to grow their channel, they want to ultimately make that their career. And even if they've got a full-time job whilst they're doing it, they've got kind of a goal and a plan of where they're going. I never started with that intention. I just started as a makeup enthusiast that just wanted to be part of the community that I love so much. But the problem is you get sucked into it, I think. And so I made some decisions that I ultimately ended up regretting. One of them is using my channel as an excuse to like buy everything and anything. I was already buying way too much makeup from being a viewer, and that's the danger of watching YouTube, I think, because you just see so many amazing products, and then even though you can probably recreate the looks you're seeing with whatever you already have, you don't see it like that. You want the exact shades, you're tempted by that thing. I've always been somebody that like sort of medicates how I'm feeling with buying things. Like, it used to be shoes or clothes, not so much these days, so I don't go anywhere to wear them, but since I've put on a bit of weight in like my 40s and 50s, I don't get the joy so much from clothes that I used to, but makeup is a bit of a thrill when it's brand new. But that thrill is very short-lived, isn't it? Like, when something's new, the first time you try it, it's always exciting, and then you put it to the back of your cupboard and you get the next thing, and then that's exciting. And I did that for quite some time, and only recently came to my senses on that. But the first year I was kind of, I suppose, a review channel. I was buying all the makeup myself to review and doing 3 looks 1 palettes, doing first impressions. I always felt nervous doing it because I always thought I'm going to miss out the things that I need to tell people, and I just wasn't really comfortable doing it. I don't suppose it's not really what I started it for. As I say, I started it because I just love makeup, not to review makeup to get other people to buy it. But I was doing, as I say, what I saw everybody else do on YouTube, and that's how I started. I used to do some fun challenge things and collabs with my friends as well, and they were the things that I always loved to do the most. And then the year of like the first year of the pandemic, when I was working at home, so 2020 would it be, I just went mental buying makeup that year. And it wasn't really, I can't blame my channel for that. I just wanted something coming in the post as like a treat to like just make myself feel better, something to look forward to, because I wasn't going anywhere or seeing anyone. I was very lonely at home, working from home, still am at times. And so I was using makeup, as I say, as therapy really. I was buying the things, but then I wasn't finding the time to use them, didn't want to use them. So I came to the conclusion that I don't need to buy all this makeup to have a channel, and I shouldn't be letting my channel be the excuse for buying that makeup. But it's quite a scary thing to do, because as soon as you stop buying makeup, a lot of the ideas that you would have for videos are all about reviewing all the new. It's very easy to think of content if you're a review channel. But if you're a channel like me, where I don't want that to be the focus anymore, it is very difficult to think of content, or even to feel like filming content, because it won't get the views that it used to have. And that's another thing through my journey I've realised. If you're going to stand out on YouTube, and I think Karen mentioned this, you've got to have something different and unique. You've got to literally work your ass off. I mean, you've got to not only upload several videos a week, because I think that's important to like keep yourself out there, keep people interested in you, but you've got to, you know, be promoting brands on your Instagram page. You've got to be properly filling out your description box, all the things that I find boring to do and that I don't want to do. You've got to be way more consistent than I am. So I think if you're sitting there at home and you're thinking, I could start a small channel and I could, you know, get to 100,000 subscribers or whatever, the journey to get there now, with the oversaturation of channels, is going to take you a very, very long time if you make it at all. So I think you've got to do YouTube for the love of it. So that's what I've come to the conclusion. I'm doing it for the love of it now, and I'm not expecting anything from it. And what I have gained from it is a confidence to sit down on camera and to film, and I've developed a skill which I never thought I could do, like making YouTube movies as such. It is a skill, the editing, the lighting. Still don't get it entirely right. I mean, you saw at the beginning I'd got the lighting way too bright, but I've got some nice kit now, and that's always been important to me, to like make a quality video that like I'm proud of. And I think that's what I get from YouTube now, is that sense of achievement that I've like stuck at something. I mean, 3 years, you know. But this is what I'm going to use today, the Ugly palette from Lightly Makeup. It's one of my favourites. I love this. It's one of these that you just look at and it's just sunshine in a palette and I just want to use it. I'm going to do kind of a sunrise, sunset kind of eye today with red, orange, pink, yellow. Just want something sunny. So I'm going to start with the red Amanita, this one, because you got to start to look with red, right? Red is the best eyeshadow colour there is, and if you're doing a video that you want to do, you got to do the colours you want to do in it. So yeah, so now I view success on YouTube for me as being completely different to what success might look like for someone else. So I think that's what you've got to figure out, and it's took me 3 years to do it. Success isn't, for me, the number of subscribers I have or the views that I have. It's doing something with my time that's productive, that I enjoy doing, trying to improve the skills that I have all the time. It's making the friends that I've made. It's all sorts of things. Success doesn't have to be anything to do with monetary terms, and to me now this channel is a hobby, and I don't really intend to get any bigger or want to get any bigger than I am. I've always had this kind of thought in my head, it'd be lovely to get to 2,000 subscribers, but I've gained about 10 this year, so I don't think that's going to happen. But does it really matter? Because even if nobody watched me, I enjoy it, and I think that's the prize as such. That's the reward, is enjoying what you do, because that's what life's about, isn't it? It's about finding things that bring you joy and doing those, because life's too short for anything else. So that's what my channel is about now, and if other people enjoy what I'm doing and I bring some joy to other people, well then that's great. But my channel's for me now, I guess, and that might sound a bit selfish, and as a viewer you might think, well, that's a bit of an odd thing to say, but it is. First and foremost, it's for me, because if I'm not enjoying it, that'll show, and you guys will see that. And sometimes I have filmed when I've not wanted to film, and I think it is obvious when that's the case. But just lately, I've took the pressure off myself to do certain content, to film at certain times or whatever, and I've enjoyed it more and I've wanted to do it more. So yeah, it's interesting. But one of the things that was very exciting to me throughout my journey on YouTube, there's a couple of things really. Getting recognition from brands I thought was like the be all and end all, and I was so excited if a brand reposted me. I guess I still get a thrill from that, if I'm completely honest. I did apply for PR from Kaleidos when I'd only got about 500 subscribers, and I didn't think in a million years I'd be accepted. I just thought, why not? And I applied and I got accepted, and I was kind of stunned and amazed and still quite proud that I was accepted at my age and that they would consider me. I thought I must be doing something right. And so that was great while it lasted. And they had some amazing products I got to try out. But it was never about getting the free makeup for me. And I think that's another reason why I don't have a channel if you're expecting lots of PR or free makeup. That's definitely not a reason to even start. And as I say, you've got to do it because you love YouTube. That's the only reason, to my mind. Otherwise you just won't enjoy it and you won't keep doing it, because it is a lot of work. Not going to lie, you know, you've got to learn a skill, you've got to be consistent, you've got to do some bits that you don't necessarily want to do. I'm going to use that ugly shade and see if we can deepen a little bit this ugliest shade. Don't know how that's going to look in the outer corner, but we'll find out. Yeah, that's going to work, I think, just to deepen things up just a little bit there. Yeah, so I got PR from them and I was excited, and you guys that have been following me a while congratulated me and I felt really great. I was like, it's validation, isn't it? It's external validation, and you know, you're doing something right because you wouldn't have been chosen otherwise. I think we all look for that, whether we say that we do or not. So yeah, it was great. And then the last PR I got was the Angelica Vis Club Nebula palette, and whenever I got PR I would feel like I've got to film lots of content with that, because they've spent their money sending me a product, I've got to sort of earn it. And so that used to be quite a lot of pressure. But I did a lot of videos with my Kaleidos products, and I did, I think, 4 videos with that palette, and then for whatever reason they just stopped sending me PR, and I think it's because I'm not big enough. So then when that happened, and because they didn't reach out and say we're not going to send it anymore, it just didn't turn up, and I was like, have I done something wrong? And so all of that external validation that I'd gotten was kind of like, it was the opposite then. I was like, I've been dropped, although my channel has grown, like, what have I done wrong? And I took that quite like to heart, I suppose. And then, as I say, I'd been buying ridiculous amounts of makeup as well during that year, and I just decided I'm going to opt out of this like rat race of buying everything, and I'm not going to apply for any PR either, and I'm not going to like chase all the new releases. Honestly, best decision I've made, and I'm completely PR free now, and it is by choice. I do get offered it now and again, and so I thought I'd talk about a little experience that happened only yesterday, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to make this video, just to talk about it. You guys might think I'm completely crazy because a lot of people would have accepted this PR. It's a UK brand reached out to me. They've been doing a PR search. I saw the PR search and I put one of my friends forward for it. So I'd left a comment saying I think this person would be great, doesn't matter who it is. And I had no intention of entering this PR search because I've decided that I don't want PR anymore. But anyway, this brand started following me, and so I had the thought that they're going to offer me PR. And they're a brand I respect. They're a UK indie brand. They're doing some great things. It would be, it wouldn't be a bad thing to get PR from them. I'm on a low buy / no buy, trying to buy the least amount of makeup possible. And so I'm telling you guys, I'm not buying things. To me, it just seems disingenuous to have PR sent to me that's free, that's like, and then I'm going, oh, it's so hard being on a low buy, no buy. How can I relate to my audience, which a lot of you are on low buys and no buys, if I'm then getting makeup for free? That if you think of PR, you are advertising for the brand. You're basically, they have a budget, they send out product, they hope you're going to review it. Quite often you're not paid. This wasn't going to be paid PR. It was, I'd got to advertise a code in my description box, and I'd got to link their website. They were the only stipulations. But to me, that's like I'm promoting for that brand. And I've thought about it for a little while. My husband thinks I'm crazy. He's like, it's a brand that you like, you want to try their products. I've never tried them. So it's like, why on earth would you not want to get this product sent to you? And I was like, well, for that reason, really. I'll be going on camera, like talking about a brand that I've never tried. I'll be sharing a code that will kind of influence other people perhaps to buy something. And I won't be getting the same experience that like a normal consumer will get, I'll get it sent to me. I won't be able to talk about the shipping experience, for example. So what I'm trying to say is I want my channel to be a place of creativity, not of selling you guys makeup. The amount of codes that are being pushed on YouTube now, I mean, it's always happened. I remember back in the days when everyone was a Morphe influencer and you were getting Morphe codes all the time from the big influencers. It's always been a thing. I don't know, I just don't want that to be what my channel is about. So I ended up having quite a long conversation with this brand, and it was quite fun. And I think I could become friends with this person because they were so lovely and they understood like how I felt about it and respected like my views on it. But yeah, I think if I bought something with my own money, I'm just going in with the yellow now, Lucid. I'm literally going to take this as far up to my brows as possible today. Yeah, so if I've bought something with my own money, then it means that was special enough to me to want to buy it. Because I just wonder, how many things do people recommend when it was sent to them for free? It's easy to recommend it then, isn't it? You haven't had to think, would you really buy that if that was your money? And I don't know, that's just my views on it. I know I'm odd. I know I'm not what most people are doing or what influencers are doing, but I'm not an influencer. I've always thought it's almost like an imposter syndrome because I don't feel like I'm a YouTuber even. I'm just somebody that sits at home doing their makeup and chats to some friends about it. That's kind of always how I've felt that my channel has been. And that's one of the things that I want to say, you don't have to start your channel with the thought that it's going to be anything than what it is. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to feel that you failed because you haven't got lots of PR or hundreds or thousands of subscribers. Success can be that you just do something that you enjoy. You perhaps meet some people through doing that you get on with and you've got similar interests to. And it doesn't have to be a business transaction, because to me that is what PR is. It's not free. Nothing's free in life. They're giving it to you because they want something in return. They hope that you're going to promote their brand. And I just don't feel comfortable promoting any makeup brands really. There's probably one company that I would accept PR from because I've got just about every palette that they've ever done and I love the brand so much. But yeah, no, there's very few and far between that I would want to stand behind like that and recommend to you guys and put my name against. And that's what I feel that you're doing when you take PR. So yeah, so that's been interesting, because I would have thought getting PR from a brand was like the be all and end all. That would be really exciting. And for a time I did get carried away in that. And I got carried away in buying all the makeup, in feeling like I got to review everything to have a channel, and almost like letting that be an excuse to, like, you know, like my channel was the validation for being able to spend money that I literally couldn't afford. I mean, one year, just to give you an idea, I think, not the pandemic year, the year before, spent over £7,000 on makeup. And a lot of that nobody talks about anymore, and it's sat in this beauty room, and that's just madness. It's insanity, isn't it, really, to think you're buying these things to use them once that you've not even used every shade of, to just put them away. And so, as I say, if you're thinking of starting a channel, think about why you're doing it. Is it because you want to be part of the beauty community? Do you want to make it a career? If you want to make it a career, like I say, you've got to look at what makes you stand out differently to somebody else, because it's such an oversaturated market, and you've literally got to work your butt off if you want to succeed as a beauty influencer. So if that's why you're doing it, you know, get a budget together, be strategic about what you buy, you know, not just buy the makeup that you want to buy. You see, that's another thing. I've always refused to like buy the things that perhaps would get me the views. I've always bought the makeup that I've wanted to own. I've always seen it like I'm a consumer of makeup, because that's what I am. I'm a makeup fan more than anything else. So hopefully I've morphed my channel into the sort of channel that I want it to be, and a lot of you have stayed with me through that. So hopefully it's the sort of channel you want to watch, because it's lovely to have viewers. Don't get me wrong, it's like, you know, I want people to watch my videos, so I may as well just do my makeup for myself. It has to be the sort of videos that I want to make, because I sometimes work 50-hour week, 60-hour week. If you're going to then be doing makeup on top of that, you know, when you've got other things to do as well, you know, I've got an elderly mother I need to go and check on, I've got chores to do, you know, all the things in life. If you're going to then do YouTube, you've got to do it because you love it. You've got to do it because it's a passion. You've got to do it because, yeah, because it's something that you really want to do. Unfortunately for me, I've met quite a lot of people that feel the same in the YouTube space, and I think there are a few of us that are turning our channels back into the sort of channel that we used to always want to watch. So I want to do a lot more challenge kind of things, and a lot more creative kind of looks and that kind of thing, because that's what I love to watch. I like seeing reviews of new products, don't get me wrong, I will watch those, but the videos that really like speak to my heart, make me happy, challenge videos, or I'm a nosy person, so I love Get Ready With Me because I love getting to know people a little bit. I love vlogs. That's something I'd love to know how to do. I don't think it's as easy as people make it look, actually. I've thought about maybe vlogging, but my life is not interesting enough, I don't think, for me to do it. But I love watching those. I just love old school YouTube, I suppose. And so that's what my channel is now. I'm really trying to work on getting a good blend. I'm going back in with the red. So that's something I still am not very good at, despite 6 years of practice. It frustrates me when I can't get good at something. It's like when I couldn't get my lighting right, and I'd got kind of a weird white balance that was like pink on my channel. It was driving me insane. I was messaging a lot of my YouTube friends because, you know, there's no handbook of how to do these things, and saying, you know, I just can't get it right. But they can't really help you because they're not in the same setup as you to see like how you need to set it up. I watch millions of videos on it. And sometimes I'm just not good at things and I can't ever get any better at them. But going to see my mum after this. She's going to hate this look, right? It's way too bright for her. Got a little bit too much orange on this side, so I just want to yellow that up a little bit. I could see her mess with this look forever, but I love a sort of sunset eye like this. It's pretty, isn't it? Alright, just going to cut my lid so I can put some shimmers on. So that's really what I wanted to say. I think I'm in a better place with my channel than I've ever been. Like, I'm loving YouTube more than I've ever loved it, because I'm just doing it on my terms. I'm doing what I want to do, buying the makeup that interests me, but not crazy buying everything. And so really appreciating the things that I do buy way more. I mean, I bought this palette that we're using now at the end of last year. I've used it 3 or 4 times on my channel, and I'm still excited for it. But if I'd have been buying all the new things, I would have put this to one side and probably never used it again, which would have been really sad. So it's not to say that I'm not tempted by new releases. I absolutely am. I'm a makeup lover after all. And there are a few things on my wish list right now. And I think I might do a wish list video so that you guys can see, you know, what things are catching my eye. But I don't feel the need to buy every one of them anymore, which is refreshing. For shimmers, I think we're going to use these two, the green and the pink. So I'm going to put the green on the outer part and then the pink, because I wanted to stick to this palette. I've not used that green before, so yeah, we'll use that. So I would say if you want to have a YouTube channel, absolutely do go for it, but go for it for the right reasons. If you've not got a channel and you want to start one and you want some advice on anything that I can give, happy to talk about it in the comments or even DMs. I'm not the greatest at answering DMs. I always forget they're there and don't always have time for answering everything with work and whatever, but you know, I can only talk about it from a hobbyist point of view. So if you want to have a hobby channel and you don't really know how to start, then yeah, I'd love to help, because I had that help at the beginning when I started mine, and it definitely made a big difference to me to have someone to talk to about YouTube, and you know, just to share the successes with. Like, you know, I've put my first video up and I'm so excited kind of thing, and have someone on the inside that understands how that feels. Yeah, so this channel is going to be a PR free zone. It's going to be a place where we do creative makeup, and I'm going to carry on doing the sort of videos that I've been doing fairly recently. So, you know, the inspired by my vinyl collection, the palettes of the past, the palette bingo. Still need to do a few more of those. More get ready with me's probably, because they're fun to film, easy to film as well. But yeah, all of that sort of content really. Content that makes me happy to film. And then if you guys enjoy it, that's all the good. So it'd be interesting to know how many of you have been with me from the beginning, and if you're still here watching the video, which will be quite a long one because this eye looks taking me longer than I expected, but I'm really liking how it's turning out. But if you've been with me from the start, leave me a fox emoji in the comments. Do you guys remember I used to always ask for a fox emoji? So if you're old school from the beginning, drop a fox emoji in the comments. I'd love to see that, just to know. And if you've never commented before but you're a lurker, you know, you've been watching for a while, because I did that for probably 2 years. I watched YouTube and I never commented at all, but I was a real fan of certain people that I was watching, but I was just too timid to actually leave a comment. So if that's you, come out of the woodwork and comment something and let me know that you're watching, and maybe we can connect a little bit and become friends, because I've made a lot of friends through this platform, a lot of which are subscribers. So yeah, this brand that had offered me the PR, she said it's great that I'm doing my channel just for me, and she said it's amazing that I'm prepared to do it with no reward, but that's not the case, is it? The reward is the pride in doing something that's your kind of thing, that you want to do, that you're not selling yourself out, you know, to be something you're not. And the reward is the pride in the creativity of what you've achieved. So it's not for nothing, guys. I've just had to change my battery, of course I have, because I'm never prepared. Oh, that's something that you definitely need to think about if you're starting a channel. Buy 2 batteries. I used to sit there for like 3 hours waiting for my battery to charge and not be able to finish the video until I bought a second battery. Well, I think you can buy ones that trickle charge all the time. That might be a thing to get. You do need to invest in some kit, I think, to make your channel worth for people to watch. You know, for me, if I'm a viewer, I won't watch videos really that I know are filmed on someone's phone, like that the quality doesn't look great. I just like to see the video in a decent quality, and I think, you know, a lot of people probably feel the same as that. This ugliest shade in this palette is not ugly at all, it's great. It gives you that sort of fire that you might want for a sunset kind of eye. And it's a great deepening shade. Right, I think that's about all I want to do. I might do something crazy and use Luxe as a brow bone highlight. I can never stop, that's the thing. More is more. Yeah, whether that made any difference whatsoever, but I wanted to try it, so we have. Yeah, it's quite pretty, I think. It's a bit different. Yeah, Mum will be like, wearing that clown makeup again, you're 54, what are you doing? Or she won't even say that, she'll just give me a look that tells me that's what she's thinking. But I really don't care. I hope I've inspired some of you that are my age to get a little bit more out of the box with your makeup. If I've done that, then my channel's been worth it from that point of view. Don't think I'm going to do a eyeliner at all today. I'm just going to go in with mascara. I really need to buy a mascara. This is about as dried up a mascara as you can ever get. I think I've had it for 6 months, which you really shouldn't keep a mascara going for that long, so don't do that. But it's just boring buying things like mascara, isn't it? I really need to get another Bad Gal Bang. That's my favourite. This one's good, but the brush is hella big, so you end up with mascara dots on your eyeshadow if you're not careful. But it is still working as a mascara even after all this time. Surely just not that sanitary to keep a mascara for so long. I know what I've forgotten. I haven't got anything in my waterline. I've been really enjoying white in my waterline at the moment, so I'm going to use White Core from LH Cosmetics. Always opens your eyes so much more when you use white in the waterline. Right, I want a corally sort of summery lipstick today, so I'm going to use Fenty Beauty's Stunner Lip Paint. This one's in Unattached. They all start with something. I want all of these. I've got 4 of these Stunner Lip Paints. Jane, if you're watching, you need a Stunner Lip Paint. We've had this conversation before. If you're going to break your nose by, that's a good one for. Okay guys, so that's the finished look. Nice and sunshiny, isn't it? It's one of those like classic looks that's pretty easy to achieve. I didn't have to think about it too much, but it comes out really dramatic and striking and just pretty, I think. I always love these sort of tones on myself, these kind of corals and oranges and reds. So I hope the video wasn't too rambly. I just wanted to get some thoughts off my chest about like beauty influencing in general and having a YouTube channel. As I say, it doesn't need to be all about selling makeup to people. It can just be a hobby, it can just be fun, it can just be about connecting with other like-minded people that love makeup, inspiring others to be daring with their makeup, or just keeping them company while they do theirs. You know, I think I add some value in some way doing those things without, as I say, doing the same as everybody else is doing on their channel. And I'm going to continue to do that and, yeah, be authentic, do the sort of content that I enjoy to watch as a viewer and that I enjoy to make as a creator. So that's what matters to me. So thank you so much if you've been on this journey with me from the very beginning. Thank you if you've just found this video as your first one. It's a bit of a weird one to start with, but you've got a bit of an idea about who I am as a person from watching it, I hope. And I really hope that you might consider subscribing to the channel and, yeah, just becoming friends, because that's what I view this channel as, a little community of like-minded people that really enjoy makeup. So yeah, so we'll call it a day at that. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Hope you're having a lovely day or night wherever you are. Please keep safe and well, and I'll catch you in the next video. Hopefully there'll be one tomorrow, and I'm going to do a bit of a creative one. So for those of you that like my a bit more out of the box videos, that could be one for you. So yeah, catch you tomorrow, guys. Bye, guys.